What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Viva Los Bills. I'm your host, Buffalo Will. Guess what? I'm rolling in solo today. No big Vinny, no little Vinny, just me, this guy, right here, joining you guys wherever you may be. Facebook, YouTube, Zingo, Twitter. We're out there. We're rolling. Vinny had to work. Got to pay those bills first. This we do for fun. Show by the fans, for the fans, and this what it is. So he won't be joining us. So if you can, make it a little easier. Always drop your comments, drop a question about anything. If I can, I'll answer it, and we'll move on from there. As we always do every week. Hold on, let me throw the crawl up there because just show that. As we do every week, we talk about the Buffalo Bills and we'll talk about some other stuff within the league, some of the moves that are going on, and our opinions. And that's about it. Also, it's about that time. Let's crack into a beer or drink. We always do it every week, as most of you guys know. This week, I ended up going with Warka. Never had it before. It's a Polish beer. Combined spices of species of barley. Essentially, rich flavor, bright from Pilsner and dark roasted. It's 6.3% volume of alcohol. Let's see, what is this? Produced in Poland. Comes in a pint for a pack. Worka. Let's see. This is going to go out to my buddy Martin, my Polish brother from another mother. Cheers to all you Bills fans out there. Bills Mafia, Bills Nation, Viva Los Bills fans, all you guys out there. Cheers. Let's try this. Okay. Warka. It's produced in Poland only. It's almost like a Bonneton's. Not as thick as a Guinness. Almost has like a little coffee flavor taste to it. Actually, it's not bad. I don't know if you can have more than 3 of these bad boys at a time, but it's pretty good. Not bad. Polish got this beer down. They don't just do vodka. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I think I like it. I guess we'll start talking some of the news. I don't know how long this one will go. Maybe we'll try to go for a half hour if people participate. Maybe it'll last a half hour to make it easier. But let's see where we're going to go. First thing I'm going to go off of is the big news, the crazy news. Was Aaron Rodgers, did he want out of Green Bay? Did he want to stay in Green Bay? Complaining about this, complaining about that, wanting power here, wanting power there. Me personally, I always said if somebody doesn't want to play for my team, there's the door. Get out. Bye. Get whatever I can for you, and you could go. But Green Bay didn't feel that way. They ended up signing Rodgers to a 4-year, $200 million deal. What? I think it was $153 million guaranteed. What? Have they lost their mind? I think they lost their mind. Listen, he could win MVP last year, this year. Doesn't matter. He's getting to the playoffs. He's pooping the bed. He's pooping it. 2 years in a row, he missed a wide open Lazard, forcing a pass to Devontae Adams. They go home. 2 years in a row, the same thing. Why are you paying this guy all this money? Listen, I understand he's one of the best quarterbacks, but it's almost the same thing like when Peyton Manning, he couldn't beat New England. People were like, well, he's not that good if he can't win a playoff game. Eventually, he does beat New England and wins a Super Bowl, then wins another one in Denver. So far, Aaron Rodgers has won 1 Super Bowl. He hasn't gotten back there yet. Yes, he got to the division championships, but what happened? He lost. And to me, it's crazy. If I was the Green Bay Packers, listen, I don't know what Jordan Love's going to do. Nobody really knows yet. But I think I would have went with my chances with them, with Jordan Love, and I would have let Aaron go. I would have been like, bye. See you. Thank you. And then they're going to franchise tag Devontae Adams. So Devontae Adams isn't going nowhere for another year at least. Maybe they'll get to work out a deal. I don't know how that's going to work out. I mean, I have to see what the salary cap situation is over there. But listen, you're going to have that 1-2 combo. But are you going to be able to sign a lot of other guys out there to keep this team competitive? You know, they can't seem to beat San Fran. But if San Fran lets Jimmy G go, then maybe they'll beat San Fran. But it's just a little crazy to me that you would pay him $153 million guaranteed for 4 years for an older quarterback at this time who can't seem to win a playoff game. You know, looking over here, where the hell is Green Bay? Green Bay is ranked 32. They're minus $444 million against the cap. How is this working out? Who are you going to sign? They're going to have to cut a lot of people. Then he's going to be whining about, he has nobody to play or throw to, like he's whined about the last few years. Makes no sense to me. I think Green Bay lost their mind. Should have let him work, save some money. They're going to have to restructure a lot of contracts to try to get something done there. I think it was a bad move. Maybe I'm alone on that, but that's what I think. Moving on to another big move. Russell Wilson. He wasn't the Denver Broncos' #1 pick, and I bet Kurt from the K&K show is pretty happy about this move because now he has a quarterback over there in Denver. My thing is this. Yes, they have great weapons. Yes, they have a lot of people over there, but Russell Wilson was complaining about the offensive line last year over there in Seattle. I guess they ran too much for him maybe. So, he's going to go over there to Denver. Well, they'll probably open up. They have a lot of young weapons over there. They got good running backs, but that offensive line is suspect. So, I mean, Denver has a good chunk of change. Let's see where they're at financially. They have about $26 million in cap space, which is great, which means they are able to go out there and get some offensive line help for him. But if they don't do that, guess what? He's going to be running for his life over there. He's going to complain about it too. You had good receivers in Seattle. You had a pretty good running back tandem. Rashard Penny started to finally step up and play like he was supposed to towards the end of the year. Excuse me. So can they fix that offensive line to help Russell Wilson? Listen, Seattle gets Drew Lock. Maybe a change of scenery will help them out over there. Pete Carroll's a hell of a coach. They still could go after another quarterback or something if they really want to. So you have Drew Lock and Geno Smith, which honestly, I think Drew Lock will start over Geno Smith. They get Noah Fant, the tight end, who's a pretty good tight end, so that helps them there in their offense. Defensive lineman Shelby Harris. I mean, he's not a bum. He's pretty good. He's putting up numbers, and they get 2 number ones and 2 second-round picks as well. So I like what Seattle did, and Seattle helped themselves open up cap space. It's big to lose Russell, but again, if somebody doesn't want to be there, especially last year after all that saying, okay, trade me or whatever, then hey, bye. I'll trade you. I'll let you go. There's other fish in the sea. Maybe not as good, but there's still fish out there. So I like the move on both sides, but Denver has to fix that offensive line to help Russell. Now, also in cutting cap space, they released Bobby Wagner, linebacker Bobby Wagner, 8-year vet. Guy's a monster. He's going to find a home somewhere. It all depends on the price, on the cost of how much Bobby Wagner is going to cost you. And on that note, hold on, gotta refresh. With the work. Okay. Bobby Wagner. I would love to have Bobby Wagner on the Bills, but Bills financially, I can't see them getting Bobby Wagner. Unless Brandon B could do some crazy magic, I don't see that happening. Moving on. More quarterback, Carson Wentz. Indy trades for him last year. Bomb. He's gone already. Changed to the Washington Commanders. Indy gets a 2022 second-round pick and a 2023 round pick. Third round pick. So actually this year they get a second and a third round pick for Carson Wentz, and they pick up a third round pick for next year. I like it. Listen, I mean, I think Indy did good here. They let Carson go. Listen, if Carson's healthy, he's a good quarterback. But the problem is, I see him playing maybe 12 games for the Commanders this year. That offensive line, listen, Fitzpatrick got hurt. Heineke got hurt. Wentz, he's not made of glass, but he's pretty brittle. So I don't see him lasting more than 12 games over there unless they fix that offensive line, which I don't think is going to happen. So I think Indy did better in this, getting rid of him, even though I think the owner wasn't too happy or the GM wasn't too happy. But hey, it is what it is. Move on. You got your picks. Make some smart decisions. A quarterback may fall into the second round, and you might be able to pick one for your future there. If not, there's some still quarterbacks out and available. Right. Talking about quarterbacks, we still have Jimmy G. Jimmy G's, where's he going to go? Jimmy G was going to get traded to San Francisco 49ers. I don't know why they want to trade this guy so bad. With him, they win. Without him, it's not the same. So let's see if Lance could step up and help him out there. But Jimmy G, personally, I don't know why the Colts, the Colts is a team that could go after Jimmy G. Why not? $20 million. It's not a bad price for Jimmy G. Playing inside, the guy could throw the deep ball, again, as long as he's healthy. Another team I would like to see, or wouldn't be surprised if goes after him, is Tampa Bay. No Brady. Why not take a chance on Jimmy G down there? You got the weapons. I don't know about cap-wise. They're a little strapped, but I think, hey, if they could work something out, Jimmy G would not be a bad option for them down in Tampa. Looking over here at Tampa, they got minus $8 million. They have some contracts to negotiate and try to help themselves out. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy G in Tampa or the Colts. Moving on from him, Kirk Cousins. Speculations are the Colts might actually go after Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk. Nothing wrong about Kirk. He makes some bad decisions sometimes. He'll go over there. They'll have a nice run game to help him out. They have some good receivers out there. So, but to me, to go from Carson Wentz to trade for Kirk Cousins, I don't know if it really makes much sense. I don't know if it's going to be an improvement or not. Personally, I would think maybe Kirk. Why not the Pittsburgh Steelers? I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers going after Kirk, but again, Jimmy G is an option there, or Deshaun Watson. I don't know. I was still seeing people talk about Deshaun Watson being picked up. Don't know why. I mean, I wouldn't touch that guy with a 12-foot pole right now until his legal actions or the legal situation's taken care of. I would not look into Deshaun Watson. I'd keep that guy in the back burner because who wants to deal with that headache? Not me. One team last year who wasn't really concerned about it was the Carolina Panthers. So are they the same boat? Are they willing to take a shot with him? Who knows? Personally, I wouldn't touch him right now. Another guy posted a video out there, Colin Kaepernick, posting a video of himself working out, saying, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to play. Now, will anybody give him a shot? If you're a team that needs a quarterback, why not? Give him a shot. Bring him into camp. If the price is right, bring him in. Let's see what he could do. If he can't do it, cut him. Let him go. But I can't see why this guy wouldn't get a shot, at least in somebody's camp, to give him a chance to see if he could play or not. Again, if it's a team-friendly deal, let's see what you could do. Kaepernick should take it and say, all right, prove yourself. 1-year deal. This is what I could do. See if you make the team or not. But one thing I'm still surprised that he's not signed is Mitchell Trubisky. Listen, I love him on the Bills as a backup, but I don't see that happening again. There's rumors possibly joining the Giants, but then you're going to have to fight with Daniel Jones. Like, do you really want to do that? It's Brian Dable's offense, so that could work. And Mitchell Trubisky, I mean, you have the Colts, Pittsburgh, Houston, unless Houston wants to keep with Mills. I mean, they know they're not going to be doing much. So you could see what Mills could do this year. And if he actually continues to progress, why bring somebody else in? But if not, that'd be a good spot. The Saints, they're in trouble with money, but that would be a nice spot for Trubisky to go in there. I think he could beat out Tyson Hill. And if not them, if Kirk Cousins is traded, maybe Minnesota could side Trubisky, take him back into the north over there, and he'll have some nice weapons all around there, good receivers to throw to. But let's see what happens. Let's see where these dominoes fall from probably by next week. Some of these guys, there might be some more trades, and some people ending up in different spots. Take a breath. Take a sip of this vodka. Look over here. See how stuff's going. All right, let's keep rolling on. Now, talking about cap problems before or cap space, the top teams with cap space after these trades and so forth are number one, the Colts, Seahawks. The Colts have around $69 million. Seahawks now have $51 million in cap space. Dolphins, 49. Jets, 44. Chargers, 43. By the way, the Chargers traded with the Chicago Bears, so that actually number might be different now because they traded for Khalil Mack. Pretty big move for the Chargers to help there on defense. The guy's still a beast as long as he stays healthy. He's a monster. The Bears get a second-round pick in 2022, this year, and a sixth-round pick in 2023. I think it's more of a dump of the salary cap, clearing up space. But damn, man, that's a great pick for the Chargers. And we'll probably see them in the playoffs. Now, moving on, the Jaguars, they have $40 million. Bengals, 35. Panthers, 31. Steelers, 29. And the Broncos have $26 million. And that's what I'm saying. They need to get some line help to help out Russell Wilson there. Now, another real quick news. This guy, Calvin Ridley, pretty sad. Atlanta Falcons already having wide receiver problems over there. And Calvin Ridley goes out here and he's suspended for at least the whole season, next coming up season. And that's for gambling on games. He supposedly tweeted that he only had betted like $1,500, that he doesn't have an issue with gambling. But damn, man, come on now. You should know better than that. And so he will not play next year. And who knows with the investigations if it goes further than next year. Come on, man. Should have learned from Pete Rose. Can't be doing that stuff. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame by now. Moving on. The Buffalo Bills. Let's get into some Bills action here. Made some cuts. I'm wearing a little black for the guys who are no longer with our team. It's a little sad day. Some of the guys that are gone, I actually like. So right now, the Bills have about $2.5 million in cap space. Rumor is they want to have about $12 million in cap space. That's around their goal, so they could make a move or two in free agency. And they need about, I think, $8 million to sign the incoming class of rookies. So let's go. So the rumor is now we're going over here. Boom. The Buffalo Bills, they almost have a deal for a stadium, supposedly. According to Ben Fisher of the Sports Business Journal, the answer is a deal is nearly at hand. Now, to build a new stadium for the Bills, they're pretty much saying that this deal might be done by April 1st. Hopefully, it's not no April Fool's joke. These are some pictures I just took offline of what the possible building or new stadium will look like. I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. It's open. I hope they keep it open. We like that weather. The only reason if they did do a retractable dome or a dome would be probably to try to get a Super Bowl bid. But I don't know if Buffalo, or that's what people will say, can handle or hold the capacity for a Super Bowl, with the hotels and all that crap, accommodations. But I think, as I've always stated, I believe every team shall host a Super Bowl at least one time. No matter. Football is played in any kind of weather. I understand it's a money deal or money thing, but I believe every team should host a Super Bowl. Now, the Bills will be returning to St. Fisher's College for their summer camp or their preseason camp or whatever you want to call it. My goodness, for their training camp. They haven't been there since 2019, and they're finally coming back this year. They signed a one-year deal to go to St. Fisher College for their training camp, which is pretty cool. That's been their home for a long time. and they haven't been there since 2019. Excuse me, due to COVID. So if you're one of those people who are able to get out there, go out there, check them out. It's pretty cool. Now, some news here. This guy, boom. Don't know why. I don't know if the Bills asked him to take a pay cut, but he's in the news again. Why? The Bills have granted Cole Beasley permission to go seek for a trade. That just tells me maybe they asked him to a pay cut, and he said, I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'm worth the money I'm going to get, which is about $6 million, I believe, this year. So he has the option to go out there and try to find a team that's willing to pick up that money. Will somebody pick him up? I don't know. $6 million. The guy had, he has great hands. He catches pretty much everything that's thrown to him. He's a beast in the slot. But the way a lot of teams are tight on money, who knows if he'll be able to get traded. So, and if they do trade him, I believe it'll free up $4.6 million if they cut him, and they'll end up having $1.5 million in dead money. So either way, the Bills are going to save around $4 million if you cut him or if you trade him, regardless. But I guess they would rather get something than have nothing. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to everybody. Hopefully they get a deal done, because if they're going to cut him, then they cut him. Bills also picked up Ed Oliver's 5th-year option, which is a no-brainer. It also gives them time to figure out how to re-sign him with the upcoming year. He will make about $10.7 million this year with his 5th-year option. The guy's a beast. He's been playing better. He's improving every year. So I like this by the Bills. You don't want to see him go, or you had to pick up that option, especially while they try to figure out what's going on with the money, how they free up more cap, and hopefully next year the NFL raises the cap. So good option for him. Like I said, one thing I would like to see is if they move him out to DN a little bit more, see how he does out there. Sad news, one of the guys I like, this guy, boom, AJ Klein. He was released, which saves the Bills about $5.2 million against the cap. Cutting him only cost $400,000 in dead money. So it was a smart move by the Bills. I just don't like it because I like this guy. I thought the Bills should have ran more of a 4-3 with him, especially with his speed. He could cover. When Trey was down, he slid right in there. When Milano was down, he was able to play the outs. He played both sides. Guy's a good football player. Maybe they could bring him back. But if I'm a team out there and I need a linebacker, I would pick this guy up in a heartbeat because he's a beast. Another guy moving on. It was boom, John Feliciano. He's been cut by the Bills. He saves $3.3 million in the cap. He signed a 3-year deal, $17 million deal just last year. The Bills reached out to him and said, hey, John, could you take a pay cut? He said no. So they released him. They let him go. Last year, he struggled a little. He missed some time due to injuries. And when he did come back, he didn't play all that well. Our offensive line kind of struggled a little bit. Besides Mitch Morse and Deion Dawkins, the line, it struggled. And that's not true. Spencer Brown, rookie, he played actually well. But, Feliciano was not himself this year. Can't hate him, but, I liked him. Just this year, he didn't do it. And I guess he's not willing to restructure his contract, so he'll be looking for a new home. The one-time ex-teammate of his, Derek Carr, threw out a cryptic text out there on Twitter, I believe, trying to recruit John back to the Raiders. So that's a possibility. We'll see where that goes. But who knows? Maybe he's reunited with Derek Carr over there in Las Vegas, back in black and silver. Moving on from him, another move. Well, not a move yet. This guy, kaboom, Shaq Lawson. He's out there trying to make his move back home to Buffalo. Personally, if it's a team-friendly deal, why not bring him in? He hasn't played all that well the last few years, but for depth, and like I said, we only have 2.5 million as of right now. If you could sign him to a team-friendly deal, why not? Brings in some depth. You know, I would like to see him back again. Just depth-wise, you have a lot of young kids out there. This kid, he's played there. He knows McDermott's system. He played well under McDermott. He was improving when he ended up leaving and taking a better deal somewhere else. So if you can get him, like I said, on a team-friendly deal, bring Shaq back. Wherever he's been, he was in Miami. He always talks good about the Bills. Was the Jets? Still talk good about the Bills. Wherever he went. He was proud of the Buffalo Bills. He's one of our own. Bring the boy back, as long as it's a good, on a team-friendly deal. This guy, boom, more moves. Where's he at? Boom, touchdown, Jesus. He's returning on a 1-year deal with the Bills. I'm not sure exactly how much the deal was. At the time, I didn't see anything, but he will remain with the team for at least 1 more year. This is also, he's played special teams. He got in there for a few plays. Didn't really have many catches and stuff during the year, but he's getting into the system. I think also this is more of a depth move, probably a team-friendly deal to keep him here for 1 more year. I thought personally he would have been going to Green Bay, especially with Aaron Rodgers re-signing, but the Bills made a move and keep him for 1 more year. So let's see if he gets into crack in and play more time, especially if, Beasley's gone, even though he plays more outside than inside. Maybe the guy will start seeing more time. Stephon Diggs. Brandon Beane said everybody's contracts are going to be looked at. Stephon Diggs is one of them, saying pretty much, hey, either they might try to restructure his contract to try to create more space, or he could be a candidate for re-signing or extending his contract to create more space up front, like sooner than later. So we shall see what happens there. Like I said, Brandon Beane's always doing something, always making some moves, and you can't hate on the guy because as of right now, he's been doing good. He really hasn't misfired on much. So in Brandon Beane, we trust. Now, one guy I could see possibly either they go and ask him to restructure his contract, take a pay cut, would be this man. Boom. Star Latulier. Listen, when he's in there, he's our best run stopper. But he hasn't been there all the time. We're paying this guy. He sat out last year due to COVID. It's fine. You got to respect that. That was his decision. Great. This year, he was in 1 week, out 2 weeks, come back for another 2 weeks, out another week. You can't really rely on him. The problem with Star's contract, if you do cut him, that's a big dead money. I think it's around $5 million or so. I'd have to check it exactly, but it's pretty hard to swallow $5 million in dead money if you ended up going that route. Like I said, the guy's a beast when he's in, but he hasn't been there as much. You can't really rely on the guy, which stinks because Star is a hell of a player when he's playing. So they have to figure out what they're going to do with him. Now, on that note, there's 2 supposedly free agent top defensive players. Names didn't come out that supposedly have reached out to the Buffalo Bills to say, hey, we want to play with you guys. So I want to know who these 2 are, what position they play, probably a linebacker, who knows, maybe a corner. I don't know, but I would like to know who it is. The names didn't come out, but they supposedly reached up and tried to set a meeting with the Buffalo Bills. And usually it's the Buffalo Bills trying to reach out to the players to see who could come and try to play with us. But these 2 guys, no names were mentioned, reached out to the Bills and said, hey, we would like to get an opportunity to play with you guys and go on from there. Who it is, hopefully we'll find out soon, and maybe we can make a big splash. How we're going to do that, I don't know. We only have $2.5 million worth of cap space right now, so it's going to be tough. Maybe Star's a casualty. Maybe Cole Beasley, if he's not traded or restructures his contract within next week, that might be a casualty. people are going to be getting chopped left and right. So we got to see what happens. Now, draft, we still got the draft in 55 days, I believe, or so. Some of these mock drafts have the Bills taking a wide receiver in the first round. I think if that happens, I might lose my mind. I think I'll go crazy because I don't think we should draft a wide receiver in the first round. But what do I know? I would love to get the kid from Georgia, the defensive tackle, especially if we're able to move on from Star. If we keep Star, just imagine Star, I forgot the kid's name, him, maybe shift Oliver to the D end, Rousseau, you got Boogie, you got all these guys, then you can move around. Now, rumor was that I heard, but I'm not 100% sure on this one because I didn't see it officially, was that the Bills were probably bringing back Jerry Hughes. And I don't know, Vinny, we were talking and he said something, but it didn't open up. And he was like, oh, I thought I saw Jerry Hughes was going to sign on a 1 year, $9 million deal. I haven't seen anything about it. And listen, I like Jerry Hughes, but if you're going to tell me you're going to bring him back for $9 million on 1 year, I would think then Brandon Beane did some silly stuff and messing up, having a bad move. I would consider that a bad move, especially because Jerry's numbers weren't all that great. And I understand the Bills, they sub a lot, so they're not playing as much, and maybe his numbers would have been better, or they would have just showed that he's slipping. But as of right now, I have not seen anything on that officially. So I hope they don't sign him for $9 million. That's all. If they sign him, hopefully it's lower than that. I don't want to see it for $9 million. I think it would be a bad move. Now, I guess on that note, we touched on everything there. Hopefully next week, Vinny will be joining me back. He said, like I said, money comes first. You got to take care of your family. This is a show we do for fun and just talking to everybody out there. So hopefully he joins us next week. Hopefully we'll have a little more news. Hopefully we'll have some signings, a little more signings than just Jake Kumaro, which again is a good move, I think, because it just gives us depth. And I'm pretty sure the Bills didn't spend a lot of money on Jake. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to have to say adios. Sipping on my Worka and keep looking at this combine, keep seeing the moves that the Bills are making, everybody else is making out there. By the way, if the Bills end up trading up, I would only want to trade up for that defensive tackle out of Georgia because the guy's a monster. Besides that, just stay where we're at, pick smart like they have been doing for the last few years, and go on from there. So, until next week, I'm signing out. Adios. Sayonara. Until